training versus exercise, what is the difference? Hi, it's Andy from gymnutrition.co.uk, and as you've seen on today's intro, what's the difference between training and exercising? Well, exercising is what I'm doing now. Look, doing my usual dog walking. That's what we call exercise. Training, on the other hand, is weight training, progressive overload, when you're pushing yourself. Now, the reason I want to highlight the two differences between training and exercise is that, again, I've noticed things in the gym. I notice a lot of people go in the gym, and if your last set of a weight training exercise is the same intensity as your first set, then you're not training, you are exercising. Now, there's nothing wrong with training or exercising. I mean, let's face it, exercising is good. It's what I'm doing now. I'm getting out and about. It makes you feel good. If you want to push yourself, push the boundaries, lose body fat, gain extra muscle, then exercising ain't going to cut it. You've got to be training. Now, when I say progressive overload, what I mean by that is, if you don't already know, it's quite a commonly used term, but if you don't know, if you're a newbie or whatever, make a mental note of what you're doing. So if you're bench pressing, I don't know, whatever you're bench pressing, 40 kilos for the sake of this video. If you're bench pressing 40 kilos for 8 reps, make a mental note or put it in your phone, in your app or whatever. Oh, don't get me on about phones in the gym, forget I said that. Make a mental note of what you're doing. It's not that hard to remember. I got 8 reps with 40 kilos, that was pretty hard. Next week I'm going to go for 9 reps, and then maybe 10 reps the week after, and then when you get to 10, you think, okay, I'll do 42 kilos, 42 and a half kilos, whatever. So you keep pushing the boundaries, little steps. Don't think to yourself, oh, okay, I've done 40 kilos this week, I'm going to do 100 next week. Ain't going to happen. Just do little baby steps, keep pushing it, and then you will see progression in the muscle growth. Now, if you're not pushing it and you want to see muscle growth, then, as I keep saying in all videos, that's when people get peed off because they don't see results. They get demotivated and they sort of, oh, I can't be arsed with this gym, and they leave the gym. So bear that one in mind. You've always got to be pushing yourself. A lot of people have said to me, oh, I only want to lose body fat, I don't want to go to the gym. Now, bearing in mind, if you put a little bit of muscle on, I don't want to get too big though, you ain't going to get too big. Who in the history of mankind has been to the gym, done a bit of weight training, and then woke up looking like Ronnie Coleman? Unless you are Ronnie Coleman and he had to push very hard, and he is Ronnie Coleman, it ain't going to happen. So you're not going to get too big. The amount of women that, oh no, I don't want to get weight training, I'll end up looking like a man. You will not look like a man if you go weight training. You might look like a man if you take loads of steroids, but that's a different subject, and that is an individual choice. Also, by putting on a little bit of muscle, that will mean your body will burn more body fat. More muscle means more powerful body, which uses more energy. It's the scenario of having a bigger engine in your car is going to use more fuel. So by putting on a bit of muscle, you will inevitably lose a little bit more body fat, and everything will tighten up a little bit as well, so you will look better in yourself. The people that say, you know, going out exercising, as I keep stating that I'm doing now, will make you lose body fat. You make you lose a little bit of body fat. Now bear this one in mind if you're one of those thinkers. I've been walking around this field, as I keep showing you every time I walk around this field, pretty much every day. Tell a lie, I don't walk around this field every day, but I stand corrected. I walk my dogs 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the long route, which I'll probably do 3 or 4 times a week, and then the shorter routes, you know, in the dark nights or what, if it's raining or whatever. But anyway, you get the gist. I walk my dogs 365 days a year. Now, I've lived at this end of Northampton for the last 2.5 years, so I've been walking this same route for the last 2.5 years without one single day off. Christmas Day, every day, you get it, yeah? Now, you could work this out on your old apps on your phone and saying, okay, if you walk so many miles, you're going to burn that amount of calories. That amount of calories equals X amount of body fat. Times that by 2.5 years, I should have lost about 50 stone by now. But obviously I haven't lost 50 stone because I'm still like whatever I am, 16ish. So just by exercising won't make you lose a lot of body fat. Will it make you lose a bit of body fat? Yeah, it will make you lose a little bit of body fat. If I suddenly stopped doing my walking and just sat on my backside and had the same diet, then I'd probably gain 3 or 4, 5 pound maybe of body fat because I'm not doing this daily exercise. So what I'm saying is, this exercising, you're not pushing yourself, you're basically doing what you do every day. You might have a manual job, you might work on a building site, you might be running around a warehouse all day long, or you might be a postman walking like 20 miles a day or whatever. All postmen are not ripped to the bone. All scaffolders are not ripped to the bone. You don't normally see fat scaffolders, but anyway, you get the gist, yeah? Your body will get used to what you're eating and what you're doing. Now, my body, even though I'm puffing and panting a little bit, is quite used to these walks because it's been doing it for years. So therefore, it will adapt to this amount of exercise, not training, of exercise. It adapts to this amount of exercise, and once it's adapted, I don't need to get any fitter, bigger, stronger, faster, leaner or whatever to walk around this field. My body will say, okay, you need to walk around this field. I will just make you that fit enough to walk around this field. No more, no less. No, any less and I wouldn't be able to walk around this field. Any more was like, what do I want to do that for? It's a bit overkill, isn't it? So it just adapts to what you're doing, which is fine. It makes me feel good walking around the field. It's good for the dogs. Where are the dogs? There's one over there, and there's one down there somewhere. Hey, Japper. So it just adapts to whatever conditions you throw at it, basically, which is fine, as I've outlined. If you want to push it a bit more, you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, then you have to give it a reason to get bigger, stronger, faster. That's why I say the progressive overload at the gym. Make a note of what weights you're lifting, and without sacrificing form, try and push the envelope a little bit. Add a little bit more on every week, every month, every 2 months or whatever. Also, use the whole rep as well. Don't use half the rep. The amount of people I see doing bench press and they will just go boom, down. So basically gravity is doing half the rep for you, and then a little bounce at the bottom and then power up. So you're powering up once you got over the little bounce bit. So you're doing like three quarters of the positive side of the rep and pretty much none of the negative side of the rep. The negative side of the rep is half the rep. Yeah, so what you should do to keep the tension on the muscle is lower the weight. I should do this in the gym really. You should lower the weight really, really slowly. Keep that tension on, no bounce at the bottom, and then power up. Keep the tension on, da, 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 da. You get the drift, yeah? Adopt that sort of training method on all of your exercises. You'll find that beneficial for muscle growth. And Willow, where are we going? Electric fence here. You know where to go, don't you, Baba? So I'm walking into the corner of this field, just over there somewhere, and there's an electric fence which goes right the way down here, which I can hop over without electrocuting my balls because I've got long legs, but the dogs are going to get zapped by it, so yeah, we'll walk around the electric fence. So you get the idea anyway. Hopefully this is useful for somebody out there. For the sake of the algorithms, don't be mean and leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment, and please subscribe and all the old usual garbage, yeah?